Hey everybody, it's me Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant-based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity, then you can generate some static electricity. Sending me some love telepathically, set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I'm gonna go deeper into the dreamlike state of nature, and I'm gonna get into doing whatever it is that you will, doing what you please, right? And also maybe I'll get into tachyon energy, right? Because why not? So let's get into this. So yesterday I went over the nature of life being a dream state, because this is the nature of the life, right? So I pretty much just covered various different enlightened beings, various different beings who are talking about the nature of existence and it being a dream. Various different poets, various different enlightened beings, gurus, um, mystics, sannyas, Shiva, multiple different enlightened beings, uh, deities, all talking of the same dream, because this is the nature of reality, right? So, coming to have the experience of life as a dream is when it starts to become truthful to you. Otherwise, being told, it remains a belief system, because I can talk to you about life being a dream, but if you don't actually have the experience for yourself, then it's never backed up by any type of truthfulness or experience, so it remains untrue. So the moment that you are able to have the experience of life being a dream, then it is truthful, and then we can agree with the knowledge being passed around. So becoming lucid in the dream is really what you want, right? So lucid dreaming is being conscious in your dreams and manipulating the dream world, right? Traversing the astral realm is what a lucid dream is. So when this waking reality becomes another dream, then you want it to be lucid so that you can manipulate it and you can play in the higher dimensions, right? Um, Synchronicity, and this can come in with tachyonic energy. Synchronicity is whenever you have that experience of absolute universal synchronicity, when things are absolutely synchronous. um, for you, it's when the microcosmic and the macrocosmic align for a moment, and you have that experience where you and the universe are inseparable. So what you really want is to align yourself properly so that it's not just a moment, but that synchronous or that synchronicity, that synchronous experience where the microcosmic and the macrocosmic are aligned completely remains absolute. And that becomes the experience. Because if that becomes the experience, then the ego no longer exists, because that's what the experience of synchronicity is being able to pierce the veil for a moment, right? And when you're coming into awakening, synchronous experiences, the experience of synchronicity happens more and more often. It happens subtler extremities, and then it gets more and more intense, and it happens more and more often, right? So you might, for example, you might be thinking of something, something maybe replaying in your head. You get in the car and you turn on the radio, and the person on the radio is literally talking the same string of information that you were holding in your mind, right? That's a very, very small example of synchronicity, um, but it gets more and more deeper, right? The moment that you start recognizing what synchronicity is, you can start diving into the whole experience of it on a subconscious level, because it's something of the subconscious. You're not completely aware of synchronicity, but it's to catch your awareness so that you can begin the integration process from unrealized state to a realized state, which is enlightenment, coming into self-realization of who you are. You are the universe. And self-realization also involves understanding that everything is a dream, right? You are the Godhead, or there's only one, and that oneness is the Godhead, or Brahma, Atman, uh, whatever you want to call it, because it has multiple different names. Spirit, the universal mind, right? Um, so synchronicity goes hand in hand with tachyonic energy, because tachyonic energy is it's literally energy moving beyond the speed of light, right? Quanta is packets of energy that is able to organize itself so that it travels beyond the speed of light, right? And the significance of the self-organizing mechanics is that it's self-aware, it's conscious of itself. Due to the fact that it's conscious of itself means that it resonates very, very differently, right? And due to the fact that it resonates very differently, it allows for different phenomena to take its course, numinals, uh, which is a whole different thing, right? So um, tachyonic energy is moving at the speed of light, or moving beyond the speed of light. Energy that's moving beyond the speed of light, it gets into quantum physics, which is subconscious, which is all about the subconscious. So, and quantum mechanics is very, very simple as well. Everybody knows quantum mechanics. It's just so that there's different holds on the mechanics themselves, different authenticities that need to be paid for in order to utilize quantum mechanics appropriately, because this is what universities do, or these various different systems. They kind of they take these mechanics and they utilize them, right? But everybody has quantum mechanics in them. It's not it's not extremely difficult. It's something that you can intuitively grasp. um, but tachyonic energy is important because it allows us to transcend into a vibrational rate beyond the speed of light. So currently, matter is supposed to be at the speed of light, right? But once it gets beyond that, it becomes tachyonic energy, or it is tachyonic energy. And usually we would call this what's tachyon energy. It's hyperspace, right? If you start to shift your vibration beyond the speed of light, beyond the vibrational rate of matter, then you get into metaphysics. And it's becoming metaphysics because it's going beyond the physical. The physical is supposed to be um, vibrating within the rate of the speed of light. But the moment that it goes beyond the speed of light and its vibrational rate, then it becomes metaphysical. and the metaphysical is hyperspacious, or it's tachyonic, and your consciousness is within uh, that metaphysicality or that metaphysical nature. So consciousness is everything, though. So consciousness is vibrating in all vibrational rates. But when you're able to go beyond that, you can touch upon the nature, or you can touch upon consciousness more deeply, right? Because it's resonating in a specific way. That resonation allows for you to be able to experience beyond the physical, right? Which reveals a lot, since there is the fixation, right, on the physical being. And this isn't just like, see, with mathematics, they teach you these things, but they don't actually give you experience of it, right? They just give you worksheets, they give you various different lessonings, they give you all sorts of different programs. You can go through 30 years of college and you learn a lot of stuff. They give you knowledge, they give you advanced mathematics of the whole mathematical spectrum, but they don't give you any full experiences where you're able to actually dissolve away into a completely different experience. This is what it's missing. This is what the whole thing is missing. And they're not doing that for people, but you can do that for yourself. See, when you're able to vibrate beyond the speed of light, you can easily dissolve the experience of physics into a metaphysical experience, which does mean that the physical experience ceases and you dissolve into a higher dimensional metaphysical experience, which is completely different. And in that dimension, you can understand much more mathematics. You can just understand, you can soak up more information because you're resonating differently, because your vibrational rate is much higher than what it is currently in this, while you're dwelling within the vibrational rate to the speed of light. So you soak up, or you are generating more information, or you're resonating with more information. Therefore, you are learning more things, you're understanding more, of which would be taught to you in a 30-year time period, right? Even though it's very technical, and what you would be learning maybe on a 30-year basis is extremely intricate, and and extremely suitable for the industriality. You can still soak up more if you immersify yourself in experience that is actualized, rather than just looking at some worksheet, or a program or something, right? It's like somebody's teaching you how to play, but if you really want to go play, you go to the park and you enjoy yourself. You go and experience, right? Or somebody is teaching you how to make music. Let's say you want to learn how to make music, you look it up online, and a teacher, there's a holographic or digital teacher that teaches you how to make music. But that makes no sense when you can literally just experience and learn from yourself how to make music, observe the music, right? So that's what I'm saying. You can get taught, and there's nothing wrong with this, but you actually want to play on the playground, right? You want to go and experience things. You don't want to watch a digital screen, or you don't want to watch somebody teaching you how to play on the playground. It's like when you're in elementary, there's time for recess, right? It's 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, whatever, before or after lunch. It would be like having a coach tell you how to play on the playground before you're able to go and play on the playground, right? That makes no sense. You can just let the kids go and play on the playground because that's how they're going to enjoy themselves. Otherwise, you're dulling things down, right? Uh, so you have to have the experiences. They have to be tied to the teachings, right? So otherwise, they're not truthful to you. They're just a sets of knowledge that aren't experientially backed unless you're literally working with the actual experiences, which you have to go into nature and work in nature, because this is where everything is. Nature has provided it all, right? So tachyonic energy, once again, is just energy vibrating beyond the speed of light, what we've placed the speed of light at, vibrationally. Quanta energy, which is self-organizational packets of light that came into a higher vibration through their fluctuation, and their resonation, of course. Let me see. And doing what you want with this energy, tachyonic energy, opens you up to higher possibilities. See, um, there's things like laws of physics, right? Laws of physics are sham. They don't exist. The laws of physics are lies. They're lies of physics. Physics doesn't exist. So it's like the various different law systems. You go into the law systems, some of the various different laws that they have set up to keep a control over things or regulation over things are completely irrational, right? So like the most rational would be marijuana. It's 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 said to be a danger to people, it's lives or something like this. There's all sorts of different lies, and it's labeled as a dangerous substance. And this is just the most common example, right? It's a Schedule One substance or whatever, DMT, things like this. These are dangerous or made to be dangerous, but you secrete DMT every single night, and it's something your body generates, right? So, and I'm only using these because these are like the most common to be used. Um, but a lot of the law systems are just lies. They've been put into place to keep a regulation over things. And the laws of physics are the exact same thing. They're just they're literally laws. They're just things put into place to keep people within a fixated state of awareness so that they can herd up people and regulate those people and dominate those people, right? But there is no physics, just as though there is no there is no legal or illegal status on cannabis or anything. So there's no laws of physics. These are just irrational things being said so that we can fall into a belief system, and that belief system plays our perception. It plays on the reality because perception is reality. So the laws of physics don't exist. and everybody who's making this up is just within a group of people who are on board with domination, right? More so, things are not physical. They're not even spiritual or mystical. These are all just wordings with meanings, so that we can come into a collectivism, an organized collectivism, right? So self-realization, you come into the state of observation and truth, right? So experience is truth, and observation is being able to experience something. Without experience, nothing remains true. Everything is just untrue, right? Like being told something that you haven't experienced, so you believe it. I believe that's true because maybe 10 people told me, and they, within their telling, made it very, very clear that they experienced it. So I believe it's true, but you don't actually know, so you have to believe that. But that's a lie to you because you haven't experienced it. As a truth once you experience it for yourself. So um, synchronicity is great at doing that, right? Synchronicity allows you to have the experience of universal consciousness, where the physical individual geometry aligns with the universal geometry for a moment, where you become one, right? And then the deeper you go into that, the more that you understand from a higher mindedness, because you're in alignment with the universal mind. This is why you're easily able to use the universal mind to begin understanding things. And with the universal mind's ability to understand, everything is absolute, because in that state of consciousness, you're much more capable than what you have fixated on or been made to fixate on, which would be the ego, which would be the physical body and the mind, right? But this is not true. That's not what you actually are. You're everything to ever exist. The only thing is that people aren't experiencing that. So synchronicity, you can easily experience this, but you can't immediately induce synchronicity of itself. Maybe there's some methods, you know, but it's something more so that just happens of itself. And then once it starts happening, it kind of leads to more and more periods where it happens to you until you kind of can't leave that synchronous experience. And that's when you know that everything becomes a dream, because within that synchronous experience, um, life mimics the astral realm, right? And you're within the astral realm once you're within that synchronicity, because you're within the universal mindedness at that point, which you also are in whenever you are able to fall into a deeper wavelength of the brain, which you do every night when you are sleeping. When you are very deeply relaxed, you're able to go into deeper dimensions because you're able to relax yourself. Everybody's doing this while they're sleeping. But if you're able to do this while you're awake, then you can dream while you're awake. And it's that simple. So I do thank everybody for watching once again. Peace out, one love, and have a great evening.